So as you are working on improving your credit score, a lot of people they hit us up and say, "Man, I want to pay down my credit cards, but which one should I start with?" Start with the account that has the biggest impact on your credit, okay? And the biggest impact on your credit are credit cards. All right. Credit cards have the biggest impact because not only do they impact payment history, but they also impact the second component of your credit score, which is credit utilization. Together, that's 65% of your credit score. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to begin to pay down the highest card balance. Okay. I have written down the highest balance, but we want to separate the accounts. I don't want you paying down the highest balance overall. I want you paying down the highest credit card balance overall, okay? Because you may have a student loan for $50,000 and you may have a credit card for $10,000. The thing about the student loan is that balance information isn't hurting your credit score. Only the payment history is hurting your credit score or helping, right? But with credit cards, the payment history and the balances hurt you. And what we want to do is we want to find a way to get our credit utilization lowered as quickly as possible. And the quickest way to do that is to put your emphasis on the highest card balance and start paying that down. Because as you pay that down, you're going to positively influence your credit utilization. And that number is also going to shrink. And as that number shrinks, your credit score will rise, okay? You want to make a real big emphasis on paying down your credit card highest balance, okay? That should be your main focus moving forward. When we're paying our credit cards, we want to pay at the right time, okay? Paying at the right time is very important, right? You have what is called a statement date, and then you have what is called a due date, okay? A statement date is the date in which they figure out the balance, and that's the amount that you are that is due at the next billing cycle. Okay. Now the thing is, when that statement balance comes out, that's the actual balance that reports on your credit report. Okay. So it would make more sense to pay the balance or pay as much on the balance prior to that statement coming out. Okay. So let's say that your statement date is the 28th of every month. Okay. The 28th is tomorrow. That means that whatever that balance is right now is going to be the balance that reports on your credit report. Well, what I would recommend if you want your credit utilization to be as low as possible, I would recommend that instead of waiting until the due date to pay the bill, pay it the day before the statement date. The day before, okay? Because as much money that you apply to that account the day before, it's going to reflect on your credit report. And a lot of times people wait until their due dates to pay the bill. But the thing is, if you continue to use your credit card after the due date, the balance that is going to report on your credit report is the balance that you cultivate until the statement date. So it's not going to help you as much as paying the day before the statement date, okay? Now understand, there is still a minimum due by the due date, okay? But if you pay it before the statement date, that's going to fix that problem for you. Okay? That's huge. That's huge, okay? A lot of people don't know this, but the statement date is the date that you want to keep an eye on. Jason, man, I just paid my balance all the way off on the due date, but it's still reporting a balance. Yeah, because the balance that reports is not the balance that is there on the due date, but the balance that is there on the statement date. All right? So we want to put our attention towards that particular number, okay? If you do that, you're going to see a tremendous difference with your credit utilization. And as you get that lowered and you focus on the statement date, you're going to see an increase with your credit score.